I swear, Windows built-in AI is like, you usually turn off the mic, right? It just turns it off for me every time I hit stream now. Basically, it thinks it needs to turn it off. Oh, my hands hurt. Like, my skin's so dry that I like cut open my fingers. You can barely see it. No, wait. You can see it. It's gnarly. So yeah, it's my second night working alone, but things are just not working right in my body tonight. Like my whole chest is like tight in my neck, like right here. And like when I woke up, everything just was like pulling, and I didn't want to go to work. I was trying to stretch it back out. And I was like, I came in, they're like, "You're tired?" I'm like, everything's been out of shape. My spine is actually crooked now, like more than it should be. I kind of stretched it, put it back by lying on the spine deck. It's the one you can see here. This thing. It's pretty good. But the biggest thing is the grip between my thumb and my finger. It's like so worn down right now that it's not gripping things very tightly anymore. It's like I'm overworking it. It's like having a hard time. I have to stretch it back out. Actually, all night I was just trying to get my hands to go, sit at a normal spot, but they're like now wanting to close a certain way, the way they usually do, and it's causing a lot of problems. So yeah, it was like I was having a push pull all night, basically trying to work with the limits of my body and then pushing them and like weighing it out, being like, okay, how much can I push here? I even had this weird acid reflux going on where I was like, stuff was coming up, dude. I was like, drink water, breathe. Okay, it's not working. Because I needed to finish, I need to finish the night. I can't just half-ass it. I mean, there's people who probably do less than me, but I don't care. I don't know. My brain can't accept the job being done that way. I just can't. I cannot process or accept it. It's like whatever you do in life causes certain things elsewhere to be undone. Relationships, trust, um, lots of little things. I mean, mostly trust. People won't feel like they can rely, you know. And I wasn't trying to brag to my new supervisor, but I am the best washer they have. And it's like the work shows it, not my statements, not my ego, not my attitude, not my smiles, not whether I come in buttering everybody up one day and the next day I'm not feeling it. I was definitely not feeling it today. I wanted to go home. And then I said, I don't want to stream tonight. And I'm like, every time I say I don't want to, I want to. My brain now wants to more when I say I don't. It does when I don't. I don't know why it's like that now. I get more motivation saying, well, what if I'm one decision away from better things? What if I'm just one video or one comment, one stream away from my future finally working out for the better? I just don't know if it's going to change my life or if it's not, and I don't care anymore whether it does right now or not. See, people always say, what the fuck is this? Or it's not all, it's doubles. He needs to chill. If he watches this, I need him to understand that every stream is whatever you make it. And it could be this open creative process. He needs to open up as a creator. He'll learn that over time, but he's starting out more, he's more at the bare base, he doesn't understand when all you have sometimes is your audience, all you have is your stream. And maybe that's the one thing that's keeping you going. And you don't say that to people. You don't say that maybe me being open and real is helping my mental health or my stability right now more than it's giving me anything. Like, it's not giving me money, but I'm putting something out. I got a lot of thoughts right now. One, the stay consistent part, or things will unravel. Like I said, things will get undone. Things will die, like decay. Like, not decay. No, that is the right word. Things will slowly diminish, and people's remembering you or the thing you said that mattered a couple weeks ago won't matter anymore because of where you are now. Same vice versa. If you're a very consistent asshole, the nice things you say won't hold any weight. Well, if I'm nice all the time and then I'm suddenly an asshole, well, none of the nice things will hold any weight. And then we're back at square one. I feel like I'm starting over. I feel like everybody who's known me or everybody who's supported me is now finally seeing me for who I am. And then when you ask me, why are these streams? Why are you doing these? Just a camera and just talking. It's because finally you get to understand me. It's not a whole bunch of, smoke screens and cool things I'm putting in front of myself. Like, ooh, look, I learned how to make a PC run better. Ooh, I can draw. Take it all away. It's just me. Me and my limitations, not just physical, but mental. Everybody has mental limitations. If you don't think you do, you definitely do. There's going to be something in your life that's going to just trip you up. And you're going to either fail or tackle it some way. Like I said, when I feel like I want to give up now, that's my biggest crippling thing, is just randomly wanting to just give up and be basically a quitter. I just hit the deepest part of myself right now. I'm usually in denial. I'm usually like, no, I would never. No. Sometimes I am a quitter. And I don't use my real intentions or voice enough when I say, I want to be better than that. I need to be better than that. It's not about want. I can want and want and want all day, but then there's like where I see the destruction or decay in my life. Like I said, when you let things sit or you don't come back to them, you neglect, then you are sorry a lot. You say you're sorry to people a lot. I did that. I tried to make sense of why I was lazy, why I was directionless, by feeling bad for myself. And constantly feeling bad made me say, well, I'm just not like other people. I'm just not normal. I'm just not capable. And it put me in like a really weird, hard spot. It put me in a dark place. I was like, well, I'm never gonna get to where they're at, because I said, well, I'm too lazy, too sorry, too depressed, too anxious. It's too late for me. I didn't learn enough at a certain time in my life. But then another part of me would say it's never too late to learn new things. You're never too old to start new things. People start streaming when they're like 30 or 40 sometimes. I'm not saying Dr. Disrespect out of support for him, but he did start late. I'm not supporting him. I don't care about him anymore. Like, I'm just saying is an example of someone starting late and still making it for a time. He will slowly die out probably, but there's different streamers that are in their 30s and 40s on Twitch, and it's like their life started over. Their life makes sense now. And there's so many, I don't know what to call them, sparks, moments with people that I have that are just some of the most meaningful, nonsensical interactions I've ever had with a stranger. Just like, I'm talking about like my Uber driver or a nurse I met or a patient at my job, or they're just in their wheelchair smiling at me and I walk by and I'm just going back to my business. I call them sparks, or I call them, sometimes I think it's God trying to show me how beautiful the world still is. And I was always that person who said, I'll never accept believing just one way. I'm never going to just get set in stone on belief that, the world's bad or that people can't be trusted. But fun fact, you're going to get hurt too much. Either way. You stay gullible, you get hurt too much. You keep believing in people, people start believing in themselves. Even if it's like they didn't know how to. Where's the fine line there? Or do I say, based off my past experiences, I can't trust you? Or I'm going to give you a shot, I'm going to try again. And then I go back to, like I said, I felt like I wasn't good enough and I was stuck, and I was trying to rationalize why I felt the way I felt, why I let things decay, why I didn't want to like push myself. It's because I got hurt too much. Way too much. Like, not just hurt, but an unreasonable amount. I got made to be something many times that I started believing. That my brain still trips itself up. It still plays those thoughts, those negative things that people fed into me. My brother, sadly, and my mom said things that they don't go away anymore. And I wish they would. I used to get really upset and cry over this shit because it would fucking make my brain just like angry. And that anger was crippling. Genuinely. So it wasn't I had a real disorder, or that I was actually, it wasn't that I didn't have control or power or the ability. Like, oh, I can't do it. I have plenty of ability, plenty of intelligence. It's just I let anger, my anger is intense. It just is. I let that take over. So I'm trying to like backtrack. A year before this year, year before 2023, 3 years of my life straight where it's just processing and getting through the accepting I am not the things they said about me, that I can be better, that I can change, and believing they can change somehow. Like, okay, you gotta believe in other people, even if they've let you down multiple times. That's tough. Like, they let you down, you trusted them multiple times, you gave them chance after chance after chance after chance. And even now, when they see you, you smile and act like nothing's wrong because you don't want to let them in anymore. Which I do. I do that a lot with people that have already hurt me. I just will pretend that everything has been forgotten, everything's been forgiven, and that I'm good, but I'm not. I wish I was better at forgiving people. And I wish I could read people like they're an open book now again. Instead of saying, oh, I know what you're like. I can't trust you. But here's what I got it now, sort of like if you show me certain behaviors, I'll start immediately judging you because you're showing me behaviors I really don't like. But if you slowly change and push yourself to be better, I will kind of lift that blanket I put over you. Like, I'll be like, okay, man, now, okay, they're not ready. Nope. For some reason, people change when they interact with me because of the way I am. I'm very, very, very blunt. Not in my words, but in my actions. My actions are very, very, very blunt. I'll just stop interacting with you. I'll just pretend you don't exist if you disappoint me. And that's not good either. You can't just ignore people. They gotta interact with you, and you gotta have some form of relationship, especially if you're at work. My last job, so many people, I just was like, I can't wait for them to get fired or just be gone. But they weren't fired. I was surprised. I'm like, how the hell is this guy still working here? He argued with 3 nurses. He yelled at a patient. Took one patient to the wrong room, and oh, he's being really overly sexual with females. He's starting conflicts with guys. Why is he still here? Beats me. I don't know. And then randomly, somebody who doesn't deserve to be fired gets fired or something, Bad management. Management that doesn't have a real good head on their shoulders. But not all people are like that. Management or employees. People come in shades. Like they're a gradient. Even the bad person has moods, different sides. The good person has bad in them too. And lots of gradients of good. Exceptional, all right. It's like today, though, in 2024, there's less just okay people. Like, nobody's really just okay. And that makes me sad. I was walking down the hall today thinking about there's still people that live like it's still 1950. There's people who think old, like an old way, even if they're new and young. They're not tainted by the way we think, or some people think, like, oh, we're living in the now. It's just how it is. But you don't have to think that way or live that way. If you're not happy, just don't care. That's why when people interact with me going, like, you're different, I'll be like, well, yeah, but like, I'm not going to force my opinion on them or anything, because there's no point in doing that if they're not ready. If someone asks you for advice, give the best you can for their well-being, not for your interest, not for your motive. There's no motive. Advice is not a motive. There's no list of agenda. Ooh, here's a moment I can insert something. So try to use the least amount of manipulation as possible in life with people or yourself. Because the more you lie to others, the more you're really lying to yourself that you're in control. Like, you're not in control. Everything will unravel. Everything will just turn into a fucking mess. But if you just let things happen the way they need to happen, you're never trapped. You're never going to It's not going to be pinned on you. There's no responsibility, and it shouldn't be. Your only responsibility is for you to do the best you can every day at your work, for your family, but ultimately for yourself too, and for God. Like, I had this thought last night that there's just a way to live. There's a way to think, but nobody knows what it is, right? We all got different ideas of what it's supposed to be. But there's just like, there is one truth, one way, one law. I'm trying to figure it out. I think that is actually the truth that I thought also was that's what a king is supposed to do, was just find a path that makes sense. Every time they made it about themselves too much, everybody failed, the kingdom failed. People lost confidence and hope in their sanity, right? But when he looked to others, kept their voice heard, kept their confidence and respect amongst one another, he found that everybody is capable. He just happens to have the seat. He just happens to have the spot. But there's a way to live. And that's by loving each other, despite all the hardship, despite all the pain. That's where I need to just rise up for myself and say, I'm going to do that. And that sounds so cheesy, but it's like it's how I really feel. I'm speaking how I really feel. I'm going to step up and break through the barriers that keep me down, keep me from being creative. Some days I just don't want to do anything creative, but that's the whole point of pushing yourself on. You do content, streaming or editing or any kind of video creation, big or small, there's a creative side to it. I'm also afraid to do too much comedy. Like, I love being funny, but I'm afraid of it somehow. Why, I don't know. I think what it is I don't like hurting people's feelings, really. Like, if I were to see somebody I joked with or joked about just start crying, like in absolute pain, I would start crying with them. Because I didn't want that. I don't care how funny the joke was. I don't care how funny I think I am in the moment. Fuck all that. Remember the old saying, if we're not all laughing together, then it's not funny. Or what was the other one? It's all fun and games until you get your eye poked out. That's different. It's a totally different one. But respecting somebody's feelings and integrity, even if you just say, I fucked up, that still means something. I fucked up. I'm sorry. We say, well, we don't say it, but we've conditioned our minds to be less vulnerable. But that's not really being tough. If you're not an adult, you're not really strong because you're gripping too tightly on thinking nobody can get in, so I'm in control, and that's another lie. There's somebody who sees past it. There's somebody who sees into your actions and your intentions, even if you don't think they do. That's what I meant by when I said there's a spectrum of the way people are. There's a spectrum of the way we think. There's always that one person who's just slightly dialed differently, and they see you, good or bad. They got an intuition. And same thing for you. There's people you see that don't think you see them, and you have this strong intuition and good judgment for them. That's what we do for each other. That's our purpose. So if you say, I'm not letting anyone in, I'm too strong, I'm independent, then you just got rid of your purpose and theirs. The bond, the trust. That's what it's about. You want to be a true, like, leader, or a true, I don't know what else to say. Just say leader if you want to start your own business or get a team together. Or if you're going to say, I'm not into that, that's fine. But even on a small level, if you want to start a family, if you want people to be able to rely on you, it all has the same meaning and principle there. Big or small. It could be the smallest friend interaction. Someone says, something bad happened to me and they need your help, they need your advice, they need you. Or I'm trying to get it like a very specific, but there's no specific. It's just a very personal feeling. Like that's only defined for you. I can't really give an example that's perfectly tailored. But moments of saying, you being honest is being strong, or moments of telling them, things are tough right now, but there's going to be a day that it won't be. But like more personal for them, not just saying that in a blanket way, being like their name and give them an example of what things could look like a couple months from now, how stable their life should be. Just give them an idea, plant a structure. Say no manipulation. We'll do it because you care about them. So plant this visualization. Using visualization to interact or explain things to anybody is very important. When you say words that just kind of just float and go, well, they hold no weight. They have no semblance of meaning after a while, because they don't ground into something that feels like what you're saying, based on experience, based on people will listen to you if you sound like you know what you're saying, you sound like but then there's fake confidence. There's a lot of people that are like, well, I just know, man, like I blah blah blah, but like they don't, and that's frustrating. You're like, why did I interact with you if I can't even really rely on you at all? So I say, wait, rely. People need to be reliable, period. You're not reliable if you're just always closed off all the time. I don't know. I think humor is always the gateway to helping people be able to heal and open up. That's always been the one, like, if you can get, a very reserved person to laugh and interact with you, and they're comfortable, then you did a lot better than just tell a joke. That's not even about the joke anymore. It's about them. It's all about them in that moment. People are precious. We're horrible, crazy, funny, stupid. We're many things. But all life is important in this world. They don't give me that fucking like, oh, I have a dream moment. He's doing the speech. Say, shut up. I don't care. It's true though. Even the person making fun of me is precious. That's what's crazy too. I'm like, shut up, you're such an asshole. Or like, but in another spectrum or light, somebody else loves them for some other reason, a different experience than what I care about them for. Because I'll be like, fuck that guy, because he's got all this up here, smoke screening. He's probably insecure, He probably thinks he's never going to be good enough. Probably makes a lot of excuses. I was that guy. Wait. I was that guy that's insulting me before. But now I say I'm precious. I'm important. I'm valuable. So can they. Because everything in life gives them chance after chance to be better. They can take it or leave it. They don't know sometimes. They're like a poker player who's just goofing around going, I don't know, plays the wrong card. Shit. But we're always dealt a certain hand. We gotta play with the cards that we're given. Alright, I think that's all I wanted to say.